What's up, everybody? Team Brannie here. We wanted to shoot a short introduction video for you guys today, giving you guys a little bit more background information on how we started working out and then eventually turned to powerlifting.
But watching a video of us sitting here at the camera is boring and can be a little monotonous. So instead, we're going to have you guys watching background footage of us working out a little bit, hitting some lifts, while we, like she said, talk about our past, talk about where we're heading in the future, and see where that channel goes.
So my story begins July of 2014. I was chunky monkey and decided that I needed to do something to change that. So I started going to the gym, and like most people, I wasn't really sure what I should be doing. Although I knew that to lose weight, I needed to do cardio. So that's basically all I did. Much like many females are, I was also intimidated of the free weight area. It was full of dudes and I didn't know what I was doing, so there ain't no way I was going to go over there and touch any of the weights. But I got bored of doing just cardio, so I decided to join the fitness classes at the gym, which were fun at the time. I didn't have to worry about knowing any specific movements or anything like that. It was all obviously planned by somebody else and I could just follow along, and I had people in there to kind of support me and give me some energy. And I had some good success with that. I lost like 30 pounds from doing cardio in the fitness classes. But then I realized I was getting bored of those as well. So I turned to Instagram and I started following people in the industry, which were mainly at the time then, I was following a lot of bikini girls. So in my mind, that really tiny physique of being really shredded and having the six pack and like a lot of muscles showing was what I desired. So I had in my mind that I needed to continue to lose weight, but me being me, I could only get so tiny before my body was just like, I'm not going to get any tinier. So once I was done with my whole trying to lose a lot of weight because it just wasn't working out anymore, I decided to say screw all my fears of the weight room. I found a program to follow from bodybuilding.com and decided to just go for it. So I started lifting weights and I fell in love with the feeling of being strong. I liked picking up weights and being one of the few girls that were actually brave enough to do so. And I believe it was sometime in 2015 is when I met Brett, and he took me away from the Smith machine squats. And we started working out together, doing like the bro split, chest, triceps, back, biceps, blah, blah, blah. But we actually got into a rack and we got, barbells on our backs and in our hands. And from there, it kind of just transformed into us working on the three main lifts. So we started squatting and benching and deadlifting, and we realized that we could be really strong. I realized that I was a lot stronger than I ever thought I could be. And again, as you go through these different phases of lifting, you learn a lot more. So I learned that when you squat, bench, and you deadlift, that is what's called powerlifting. And I realized that being a powerlifter is sort of, or it was uncommon, I believe, for a lot of females to be a powerlifter. Every girl that I knew was trying to be really tiny, and I was like, I don't want to be like all of them. I want to be different. So being different to me meant being really strong. October of 2016, I started a powerlifting program and have never looked back. So a year and 2 months later, I have gotten hella stronger and I've competed in a powerlifting meet along with Brett. It was our first one together and we had a blast and we don't plan on looking back. I absolutely love powerlifting. I love feeling strong, and the thing they say about powerlifters is that we're freaking crazy because the work we do is not easy. It's not fun for some people to look at us and be like, why are you doing all this work? You could hurt yourself, blah, blah, but that's the whole point, is you push your limits and you become stronger and know that you're strong because you put in the work. And I have fallen in love with being strong, fallen in love with pushing my body past what I ever thought I believed was possible. And that's how I became a powerlifter. Bye.
Picking up where Annie left off. So I began working out actually as a New Year's resolution. I started working out with my grandfather, who was big into bodybuilding in Michigan, Oklahoma, and he came down here and spent some time doing state competitions here. So I started working out just after my 21st birthday in an effort to not be a skinny, fat 160 pounds and just overall weak for my size. So he got me into working out, and I probably spent about 6 or 7 months working out on his regimen, which is actually just a PPL, push-pull leg split, working out 6 days a week. From there, I actually started working out with a couple buddies, and they really pushed me into a bro split where I kind of ignored body parts I didn't like training back has actually always been boring to me, or training calves and forearms weren't important. So they got me more into that, and it was actually at that same gym with one of my buddies where I ran into Annie, and I noticed that the booty was so thick I had to have it. We started working out a little bit together, and as we developed our relationship, we actually started to develop our workouts a little more seriously, and we noticed that it was something we both had in common, and we wanted to spend more time in the gym. So we moved locations, and I was squatting one day, and a gentleman named Tank was watching me squat, and little did I realize that he was one of the more popular powerlifters down where we live. And he actually asked me after I finished my set if I powerlifted. When I told him no, his literal response was, "Well, you do now." So I laughed, and I was like, okay. Mostly he intimidated me because he was like, I don't know, probably about 5'10", 300 plus pounds, and I didn't know what he was going to do except eat my face. So I went home and I Googled it a little bit, and I kind of was like, yeah, I think I could get into that. Fast forward from that point, which was roughly a year and a half ago. I believe it was probably about a year and a half ago. At that time, could bench press maybe 225 for a hideous single. Could squat 405 for maybe more, nothing more than like a double or triple, and they were questionable on depth at best. Deadlifts were actually just about non-existent at that time, or maybe just they were forming at that time. I had some lower back injuries that I had to deal with when I first started working out, so those had to get worked out. So we started working out with a stricter regimen, and I was able to kick out all my training partners who were part-timers or lazy as hell. And my only current soulmate / training partner would be my girlfriend, Annie. And she's pushed me to new greats. As she stated before, we both competed in our first powerlifting competition together. We both did phenomenally well. And I'm glad to say that in the last year and a half, I've put over 100 pounds on my squat, put over 100 pounds on my deadlift, and put like 60 to 70 pounds on my bench, So, still poverty central, so if anybody wants to help a brother out, give me some of them gains. But as she stated, we are not looking back. We're only looking to the future, where our powerlifting career will take us, and every single day we work on just getting stronger and staying positive.
So, basically, that's it. That's how we started lifting in the first place, and how we eventually transformed our workouts into a powerlifting regimen, and how we have fallen in love with the sport.
So we are going to stall and then freeze up as if I've never been on camera. Most of the channel's contents are going to be something powerlifting related, probably our workouts.
Things that we come, but if you are a fellow powerlifter, fellow random person who
or you feel like that's something you could get behind and you could follow along with us, definitely feel free to stick around for a little bit. Comment, like, all that other BS that everyone always yells at.
YouTube that people do it.
Do that.
And stay tuned.
I'll see you on the next one.
And it stopped? It didn't stop.
Oh
no!
I gotta poop.
Bubby!
Bezos!
Ah!
We have a dog!
Oh yeah, also, puppy!